My dear friends, I am Dr. Omkar Prasad Vaidya, MD PhD from King George Medical University, Lucknow. Today I will be discussing what are the various causes of heart failure. Heart failure can be defined as the inability of the heart to pump out blood in order to maintain the body's demand of oxygen as well as blood. So, with age or because of various medical conditions like hypertension, diabetes, or myocardial infarction, the wall of the heart muscle may become weak and gradually it becomes weaker and weaker as it is a progressive disease, and if it is not intervened in time, it leads to cardiac failure. So, because of any clinical condition like hypertension or because of diabetes or because of coronary artery disease or those patients having a past history of myocardial infarction or heart attack, their wall of the heart muscle become very weak, and gradually with time they lost the capacity to pump out the blood, and which can be diagnosed with the use of echocardiography with low ejection fraction. So before going to detail, I want to tell again that heart failure can be defined as the inability of the heart muscle to pump out the blood so as to maintain the body's demand of both oxygen as well as blood. So it may be an acute or chronic condition also, but it is a progressive if it is not intervened or with it is not prevented with medication or lifestyle changes, it may progress into final stage of heart failure. So heart failure can be divided into both acute and chronic heart failure, or it may be systolic heart failure also, diastolic heart failure also. So today I'll try to discuss about what are the various factors or etiology of heart failure. So number one is, so most common cause of clinical condition or most common cause of heart failure is coronary artery disease. So coronary artery disease means because of ischemia or because of thrombus formation or because of atherosclerosis, deposition of cholesterol in the coronary artery. It leads to blockage of the coronary artery, which may lead to the gradual decrease in the blood supply to the heart muscle, and heart become weak with the progressing situation, and gradually it leads to heart failure if the ejection fraction is low enough so that it cannot maintain the body function. So most common cause of heart failure is the coronary artery disease, which may occur because of hypertension or diabetes or hypercholesterolemia, and because of all these factors there is more stasis of blood, or the flow of the blood in the coronary circulation is decreased, and because of that the blood become more hypercoagulable. At the same time, because of endothelial injury, because of anemia, or because of deposition of cholesterol plaques, because of or fatty plaques inside the lumen of the coronary artery, it causes narrowing of the coronary artery, leading to the decreasing the blood flow to the various part of the heart muscle, and which leads to chronic ischemia, and which may leads to heart failure with time if necessary intervention is not taken. So most common cause of heart failure is the coronary artery disease, and it also increase the chance of myocardial infarction also. So both coronary artery disease may lead to myocardial infarction as well as heart failure. So next important factor which may lead to heart failure is past heart attack, or heart attack is another name for myocardial infarction. Here, because of blockage in the coronary artery due to thrombosis formation or because of thrombus formation or because of deposition of cholesterol plaques, blood flow to the heart muscle is hampered, and this is become acute condition, and because of that sudden block or total block of a circulation supplying the heart muscle, because of total blockade there is some damage of some part of or area of heart, and because of that the area which is infarct or undergo ischemia become very weak, and gradually it leads to heart failure. So person having history of myocardial infarction, and if the area of infarction is very severe and it involves the left ventricle, then it may gradually leads to heart failure, because the muscle of the heart may become weak enough so as to they cannot maintain the body's demand of blood supply as well as oxygen supply. So another important factor is myocardial infarction. Because of myocardial infarction or heart attack, some part of musculature of the heart become very weak, or because it is directly damaged because of decreased blood flow to that area, and because of all of us know when a damaged part become ischemic, it loses its function and it become very weak, so it cannot contract properly, and gradually there is a decrease in cardiac output and ultimately manifested in the form of heart failure. Another important factor or cause of heart failure is hypertension, so or high BP. If the blood pressure remains at higher level, more than 140/90 for persistent for long time, without any intervention or without any lifestyle modification or without any exercise or dietary intake, it may lead to pressure overload on the heart, and if it remains for longer time, it creates a heart has to overcome the hypertension or the resistance in the peripheral arteries, and because of that heart has to overcome a great resistance, and if continuous persistence hypertension for long time create a permanent pressure over the heart, and gradually the heart become weak, hypertrophy, some chamber dilatation may occur and leads to pathological cardiomegaly, and ultimately it may fail also. And that's why it is always advisable not to keep the blood pressure in higher level. Though normally if there is acute rise of blood pressure because of physiological mechanism like vasoreceptor or chemoreceptor, it may come to the normal, but by any means if the blood pressure become persistent in higher level for longer time, it may be dangerous too. So by dietary modification like DASH diet, or by taking antihypertensive medication, or lifestyle changes, or doing our salt restriction or more potassium diet, we can prevent the hypertension. So high blood pressure should be taken seriously, because it may lead to increase in the risk of heart failure, and again hypertension is also can be a cause of heart attack as well as coronary artery disease or coronary arterial disease. It may lead to coronary atherosclerosis also in future. So thinking all these things, high blood pressure should be taken seriously, and it should be intervened in right moment, so that persistent hypertension can damage the heart wall and make it weak, and in future it may lead to heart failure. Another important positive factor or etiology of heart failure is abnormal heart valves. If there is valvular problem like mitral stenosis, which is obstructing the blood flow from the left atrium to left ventricle, there will be more of back pressure, right ventricular hypertrophy or right ventricular failure may occur in case of mitral stenosis. So similarly, in aortic stenosis or coarctation of aorta, where the aorta undergoes any obstruction or blockage in the valvular aperture, gradually there will be more accumulation of blood in the left ventricle, and ultimately there is a chance that left ventricle will hypertrophy, their chamber may undergo dilatation, and ultimately lead to left ventricle failure or left ventricular failure, and gradually the cardiac output may fall. So what I mean to say, abnormal heart valve or valvular heart disorders like aortic stenosis, coarctation of aorta, aortic regurgitation, then mitral stenosis may lead to heart failure. Mitral stenosis lead to the right heart failure, means right ventricular failure, and aortic stenosis or aortic regurgitation lead to the left ventricular failure. So we should not take valvular heart disease lightly. We should take it seriously, and before the critical stage comes, it better to handle with medication or to take anti-failure management, or if surgery is needed, we have to handle it with surgical therapy or valvular surgeries or valvotomy or valvoplasty we have to do, so as to prevent the future heart failure. Because if valvular heart disease persists for longer time, it may lead to valvular heart disease. So if there is already some valvular deformity or valvular stenosis or regurgitation, then it is better to handle it with medication in early stage, and we have to diagnose also and treat in right moment, and if surgery is needed also, we should do surgery so as to prevent the future heart failure. Another important cause of heart failure is various cardiac muscle disorder like heart muscle disease, it may be hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy, or maybe inflammatory myocarditis, or it may be dilated cardiomyopathy. So cardiomyopathy, cardio means heart and myopathy means myo means muscle and pathy means pathology. So cardiomyopathy means is a defect or disease or pathology of the heart muscle. So it may be because of myosin gene defect, or because of light chain defect, or because of any gene defect, the heart muscle wall becomes very, the wall of the heart muscles become very weak, and because of that they cannot contract properly, which leads to various type of heart failure. So cardiomyopathy like hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy and dilated cardiomyopathy, which may be because of alcohol. So chronic alcoholism also is prone to develop HOCM. HOCM means hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy, which is a heart muscle disorder. So heart muscle disorders like cardiomyopathy, then which may be of two types, DCM, dilated cardiomyopathy, which may be because of alcoholism, or it may be because of HOCM. HOCM means hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy. Beside myocarditis means inflammatory or infectious myocarditis, which may be because of any reason, viral infection or septicemia, or because of inflammatory changes may leads to myocarditis, and this myocarditis also may causes inflammation of the heart muscle, which makes it very weak, and if it is not treated in time or does not resolute with time may leads to heart failure. So both myocarditis may be acute or chronic myocarditis, both DCM, dilated cardiomyopathy, and another cardiomyopathy that is HOCM, hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy, should be taken very seriously because it may leads to future heart failure. So they should be undergo medication and medical intervention, therapeutic intervention, so that they prevent the chance of going into a stage of heart failure in future. Another important cause or etiology of heart failure is congenital heart disease. So congenital heart disease may be those heart disease which may be because of congenital deformity in the heart, persistence in the hole like ASD, atrial septal defect, or ventricular septal defect, or PDA, patent ductus arteriosus. These are various type of congenital heart disease. In ASD, there is a septum between the right atrium and left atrium does not close, so it remains patent, and because of the ASD, blood may flow from left to right, and again it may increase the circulation to the lung, again more vascular accumulation of blood in the left heart, and it may leads to overload of the heart, because same circulation will be gaining, and it may accumulate more amount of blood in the left side. So it may leads to heart failure in the long run if it is not treated in time. Most of the congenital heart disease, if it becomes severe, it may leads to right to left shunt, then it becomes a cyanotic heart disease. Just like Fallot's tetralogy, it becomes a cyanotic heart disease. Normally, the pressure in the left side of the heart is more compared to the right side, so there is a left to right shunt, so there is no cyanosis. But in case there is a right-sided pressure increase, such as pulmonary stenosis or pulmonary hypertension, it may lead to right to left shunt, and that time there is an admixture of the blood from the right side to the left side, leading to the mixture of the lower the oxygen saturation of the left side of the heart. So the left side of the heart become mixed with deoxygenated blood. That's why the whole body becomes cyanotic, because the deoxygenated blood mixed with the systemic circulation, or deoxygenated blood is circulated to systemic circulation because of the heart disease, congenital defect. So most of the congenital defect, if it is very severe, should be treated with surgical treatment, and surgical closure of this ASD or VSD, ventricular septal defect, or Fallot's tetralogy, or it may be because of ASD, atrial septal defect, or PDA, patent ductus arteriosus. These are the various congenital heart disease that must be taken very seriously. If it is early stage, then it is not a matter of concern, but if it is very severe, where there is right to left shunt or cyanotic heart disease, it should be treated surgically, otherwise the chance of heart failure in future is very much high. Other risk factors which may lead to heart failure is lung disease. Various lung diseases like COPD, emphysema may lead to core pulmonary. Chronic pulmonary disease or chronic lung disease may lead to increase the pulmonary arterial pressure, or lead to pulmonary hypertension, which may create pressure on the right side of the heart and ultimately leads to the right heart failure. So most of the lung disease, maybe COPD, emphysema, it persists for longer time, and if it is not treated nicely, it may leads to pulmonary hypertension and leads to right ventricular overload and leads to right heart failure. Now, right heart failure persists for a long time may lead to left heart failure also. So what I mean to say, the chronic lung disease like COPD, emphysema should not be taken very lightly, because ultimately if it is not treated or handled nicely, it may lead to heart failure in future. Next, one of the important causes of risk of that increase the risk of heart failure is diabetes. Diabetes is a chronic situation, especially type 2 diabetes, and if it is not controlled, it may lead to rise in blood pressure as well as increase in plasma cholesterol level, triglyceride level, bad cholesterol like LDL. This is because diabetes, if hyperglycemia lead to hyperglycemia, and if it is not maintained for longer time, it may lead to vascular changes, both microvascular as well as macrovascular. And because of this macrovascular as well as microvascular complication, it may lead to hypertension. And if hypertension is persists for longer time, it may lead to heart failure. So heart also become weak for diabetes. So diabetic patient with persistent hyperglycemia, and if it is not maintained properly, their heart muscle become very much weak, and at the same time there is a risk of getting hypertensive. Diabetic patient become hypertension because their plasma cholesterol level with time, their plasma cholesterol level, triglyceride level, bad cholesterol like LDL will rise with time, and because of this there will chance of hypertension. And because atherosclerosis, vascular atherosclerosis may be there, which leads to narrowing of the blood vessels, and which may leads to hypertension. And this hypertension, if it persists for longer time, may leads to heart failure in future. So diabetes directly or indirectly may lead to heart failure also. So we should not take diabetes very lightly. We should, once a person is diagnosed diabetes, you should be first handled with lifestyle management, with dietary therapy. Then if not respond to that, we should go for natural means. If natural means fail also, we can go for medication, and target is to be decrease the microvascular and macrovascular complication because of persistent hyperglycemia. So we should always take diabetes seriously and should try to control the high blood sugar level, because high blood sugar level of diabetes can lead to both microvascular and macrovascular complication, and one of the complication of hypertension because of diabetes may lead to heart failure in future. Another important positive factor or etiology of heart failure is obesity. Now, obesity are those subjects whose BMI is more than 30, and in such situation their body surface area is more, body weight is also there is more, and their fat deposition is also very much high in the body. So there is always some excessive fat accumulation in the body, and that's why there is always heart has to pump vigorously or has to work harder so as to supply the blood to various parts of the body in obese patients. So heart has to work more harder as it has to supply blood to more body weight or higher body weight, as the BMI is very high, more than 30 in case of obesity. And also obesity may be associated with diabetes as well as hypertension. It may be associated with hyperlipidemia or hypercholesterolemia or high level of cholesterol in the blood, and because of all those things it may lead to atherosclerosis or narrowing of the arteries, leading to hypertension, and ultimately leads to heart failure. It may also, obesity also increase the chance of myocardial infarction if it is not handled in right moment with lifestyle modification, and that's why we should not take obesity very lightly, as obese patients are prone to develop heart disease, especially myocardial infarction or heart attack is also very common. Then chance of heart failure is also increased. Then chance of getting hypertension also increased. Then chance of getting diabetes also is very much high if the patient is obese. That's why we should try to restrict obesity and control obesity by weight loss program, by lifestyle modification, by dietary therapy, by regular exercise, and if not controlled by all these measures, we should resort to medications like orlistat, sibutramine, amphetamine. These are the various medications for anti-obesity treatment. And for morbid obesity, we can resort to bariatric surgery also. So somehow, and we must control the obesity because it can be one of the risk factor for future heart failure also. Another important factor or risk factor or positive agent or positive factor which leads to development of heart failure is sleep apnea. Now, sleep apnea is a condition where the person undergoes difficulty in breathing on sleep, and because of this the person cannot sleep also in long run, and they are prone to develop hypertension, they are prone to develop diabetes, they are prone to develop stroke, myocardial infarction, and if not treated or intervened in right moment, it may lead to heart failure also. Beside all those things, positive agents, so we have already discussed various positive agents, and out of this we should also take importance like special drugs. The drugs like cocaine, then heroin and morphine, if taken in higher dose, may lead to directly injury to the heart. So drugs also, drug abuse may be bad for heart also. So we should advise those patients who are drug abuse that to stop drug, otherwise it may cause cardiac injury and leads to cardiac failure in future. So many drug abuse patients die of overdose of drug because of heart failure also, because most of the drugs, it accelerates the heart in higher rate and create a overload in the heart and may lead to heart failure. So we should be not take drug abuse patients, we should not encourage them and advise them to stop drug abuse. So besides, alcohol is also maybe important positive agent for heart failure, because alcohol intake too much may lead to alcoholic cardiomyopathy, and also we can call it dilated type of cardiomyopathy, DCM. So dilated cardiomyopathy may be because of excessive alcohol intake, and also alcohol is not good for heart, it causes cardiac muscle injury and muscular weakness. So excessive alcoholism should not be encouraged, as it may lead to heart failure in future. So we should always try to cut down the alcoholism, and we can allow up to mild alcoholism for those patients with weak heart or suffering from any heart disease, because alcoholism, excessive alcoholism may leads to weakness in the heart muscle and leads to heart failure in future. So these are the various risk factors or etiology. We are discussing mainly the etiology or causative factors or causes of heart failure. So most common cause is coronary atherosclerosis or coronary artery disease, and it is because of coronary atherosclerosis caused because of deposition of cholesterol and lipids on the coronary arteries, and ultimately causes decrease in blood flow to the heart muscle, and ultimately because of that heart muscle becomes weak because of getting low blood supply, and ultimately over time they may lead to heart failure. Coronary heart disease or artery disease also is a very much risk factor for development of heart attack or getting heart attack or myocardial infarction for the heart patients, and this myocardial infarction or heart attack may further decrease or damage certain part of heart, then area become weak, the musculature become more weak, then ultimately it causes fall in cardiac output, and this can be lead to heart failure in future. Beside other this, we should not take high blood pressure level very lightly. Beside abnormal valvular heart defect, then cardiomyopathies, congenital heart disease, lung conditions, diabetes mellitus, obesity, even dyslipidemia. If there is a lipid metabolism, deformity in lipid metabolism like dyslipidemia or hyperlipidemia like high cholesterol level, those patients also should be taken seriously, as we should try to lower the cholesterol level in the blood, as it may prevent the rise of hypertension and which may lead to heart failure in future. So we should always try to prevent the causation of the heart failure by preventing all the positive factors. If all the positive factors or etiology are prevented, then easily we can treat or prevent a heart failure. Thank you very much.